This vehicle is leaving the station. Please hold on. Please move to the center of the vehicle and away from the doors.
Welcome back to episode 2 of the No Wheat Geek. Thank you so much. This channel just launched, and we have our first 10 subscribers right out of the gate. No publicity. Thank you so much. We're setting small goals, and my next goal is 25 subscribers. So if you don't mind, if you are happening upon this channel and this is something you enjoy, do consider thumbing up, subscribing. That's the most important thing. Just hit the subscribe button. Maybe turn on notifications, and every time I put out a video or a live stream, you will be notified. What is this? What is the No Wheat Geek? It is a channel where we will dive into pop culture, sci-fi, geek, toy collecting, pro wrestling, a little bit of everything, and we hope that you will join us on that journey. Now, moving on, we have some things to talk about, including Star Trek. Now, we've ignored this for a while. We've ignored this for a long while, and it's time we at least started to talk about it. Will Wheaton is in the news, and maybe not for the best of ways. So let's get into it. This comes from Bounding Into Comics. Star Trek The Next Generation star Will Wheaton tells Star Trek fans who don't like Kurtzman Trek to, quote, go do something else. What? Let's keep reading. According to Bounding Into Comics by Spencer Bakuli. Spencer someday will correct me on the pronunciation of his last name. Star Trek The Next Generation and Big Bang Theory star Will Wheaton recently opened up about his thoughts on the current state of the Star Trek franchise, and offered his opinion that the long-running sci-fi franchise, quote, is as exciting now as maybe it's ever been. End quote. What? Are you... Hang on a second. Have you watched Lower Decks on CBS All Access? Come on, be honest. It's a cartoon that's supposed to be like Rick and Morty had a baby with Star Trek. And not even good Star Trek, but Kurtzman bad Trek. Have you watched Star Trek Discovery on CBS All Access? They put it behind a paywall for a reason. They wanted to entice you in with the name, so they got your subs. And then once it's behind a paywall, they don't have to tell you jack about how well it's doing. They can tell you it's doing great. Show me the numbers. How many people are watching Star Trek Discovery? How many people are watching Star Trek Lower Decks? Will Wheaton, that's who. Let's keep going. So TrekMovie.com published an interview with Wheaton to promote a film unrelated to Star Trek, and eventually they got into Star Trek questions. They said, as the interview progressed, TrekMovie.com's Anthony Pascal eventually broached the topic of Star Trek and asked the director if he ever worried, quote, about what people sometimes call franchise fatigue. Wheaton replied, I don't care about franchise fatigue. He says, I mean, either you like it or you don't. Either you come and participate in the storytelling or you don't. And it's a giant world with lots of people in it. And if you don't like it, God bless you. Go do something else. That's fine. That's just the way that it is. You're never going to be all things to all people. And he noted if you try, you end up being beige, which is boring and uninteresting. Beige, that's the word he chose. He's talking about skin color. Is this virtue signaling? I wouldn't put it past him. The actor also revealed that he thinks Star Trek, quote, is as exciting now as maybe it ever has been. Again, he says there's so much wonderful storytelling happening, and if there's such a great cast that brings you great stories to life right now, it's a wonderful moment to be a Star Trek fan. I could not disagree more. Discovery has become a shell of Star Trek. It is completely not Gene Roddenberry's vision of what Star Trek was, but it is a generic, dull, violent. They completely just blew away what the vision of the future was for Starfleet. Picard, even worse. No offense. Listen, if you like these things, that's fine. I'm not going to tell you what is good and what's not good. I can only give you my opinion. Wheaton is basically telling you that your opinion doesn't matter, and you can either like it or you can take off. And that, to me, is exactly what is wrong with Hollywood today. They have this mentality that if you don't agree with them, and if you're not on board with what they're presenting you, then you need to get out. Don't change anything. Don't try to please your fans. You get out. And that is exactly 100% what is wrong with Hollywood. And Will Wheaton, you are a prime example of what we don't want in our Star Trek. In the Next Generation, as a kid, you were fine. Annoying, but fine. But to come and tell fans that you either like it or you get out, that's not the way to handle Star Trek. And if what I'm hearing is true, maybe the handling of Star Trek is going to get passed off by someone that maybe actually cares about the franchise and presents something that will be more satisfying, not just to newcomers, but also fans that have supported the franchise for years and years and years. Just my take. Anyway, that's Star Trek news. Moving on, speaking of CBS All Access, this comes from Slash Film. CBS All Access, the paywall, will officially rebrand as Paramount Plus in 2021. So CBS All Access, Star Trek is so successful on CBS All Access that it's completely rebranding and changing its name to Paramount Plus, as if there aren't enough pluses. There's Apple TV Plus, there is Disney Plus. At least HBO put the Max at the end. It could have been HBO Plus. Now we have Paramount Plus. Let's get further into the story. Farewell, CBS All Access. We hardly knew you. Viacom CBS is officially rebranding its streaming service from CBS All Access to Paramount Plus. That's joining many platforms that have added a plus sign, as I just said, to their name. The name change will be official by early 2021. Let's get to the quote. Viacom CBS president and CEO Bob Bakish added in a statement, with Paramount Plus, we're excited to establish one global streaming brand in the broad pay segment that will draw on the sheer breadth and depth of the Viacom CBS portfolio to offer an extraordinary collection of content for everyone to enjoy. What a load of trash that is. That is CEO speak right there. For we wanted to name it something different because CBS All Access is an abysmal failure. That's what that says to me. So they're changing the name. They think maybe worldwide. Let's see what what Paramount Plus is going to offer right out of the gate. Let's see, a fresh slate of 5 new original shows coming to Paramount Plus, one of which is a 10-episode scripted miniseries based on producer Al Rudy's experience making The Godfather. That doesn't sound that bad, but that's me. That's like old dudes. My kids aren't going to care about that. Young people aren't going to want to watch that, I don't think. The other 4 include the spy drama Lioness from Yellowstone's Taylor Sheridan, a reimagining of Behind the Music titled MTV's Behind the Music, the Top 40. Okay, MTV's Behind the Music. Does anybody care? Behind what music? Today's music? No thanks. Let's keep going. The Real Criminal Minds, not just Criminal Minds, The Real Criminal Minds, which is a true crime docuseries based on the CBS series. Why didn't they just call it CBS All Access? Because it's not making any money, kids. And also the revival of The Game. More programming will be announced ahead of launch. This sounds like a terrible idea. It sounds too late. Nobody cares about Star Trek. Nobody cares about MTV's Behind the Music. This is all my opinion. If you care, that's cool. I'm not going to tell you to go away like Wheaton did. I'm just, you like what you like. But to me, especially with the success of Netflix, although they just lost a lot of money, we'll tell you about that in a minute, with Disney Plus, with HBO Max, Apple TV, not there yet, but Paramount Plus coming in very late to the game, I don't think it's happening. Let's move on to Netflix news. Cuties backlash led Netflix US cancellations to spike nearly 8-fold, analytics firm says. This comes from Variety. Variety, of all places, which you'd think would defend this, sick as that is. Let's read some of this. By the way, this was by Todd Spangler at Variety. A campaign waged against Netflix over Cuties and the film's sexualized portrayal of children. I did not misread that. produced a surge in U.S. subscription cancellations over the weekend, according to research company Yipit Data. Listen, just when you thought the U.S. was really in a crap hole, good on us. Netflix subscriber churn rates began to rise September 10th, the day after the release of Cuties on Netflix, when the hashtag cancel Netflix was in the top trending spot on Twitter. On the 12th, Netflix's cancellation rate in the US jumped to nearly 8 times higher than the average daily levels recorded in August 2020, reaching a multi-year high, the data analytics provider told Variety. Now, the defense from this, and I can already see this happening, the defense is going to be, well, listen, we're in the middle of a pandemic. Money's tight. We're not getting the stimulus round 2 approved anytime soon. People are starting to cancel streaming platforms. I don't think so. This thing is way too big of a news story, and the mainstream media is glossing over this, telling you that this is not the over-sexualization of children, even though, have you watched the trailer? Have you watched the film? Do yourself a favor, skip the film, watch a few trailers, make up your own mind, but it is exactly as it looks, which is disgusting. So I'm glad that Netflix is starting to financially feel some pain here, because I'll tell you what, the only way to vote on all of these digital platforms that are vying for your dollar is to vote with your wallet. So if you're one of the people that canceled Netflix over Cuties, all the more power to you. Hopefully it sends a clear message and this thing gets removed as soon as possible. Let's move on to happier news. The Mandalorian season 2 trailer is here. Have you watched this trailer yet? I have. I have some thoughts on it. I can't play the whole thing because this video will get stricken down, and I don't want to do that. But basically, we'll just go through some still shots here. Get a planet, you get a ship. The ship has let me zoom in a little bit on this. This ship has looks like it's taken some damage. All right, we come to the Mandalorian looking like a badass with Baby Yoda. Excuse me, the child. He's with the child. Okay, he's walking. Let's see what else is going on here. I'm going to have to play just a quick second to let this catch up. All right, we have Baby Yoda in the snow. Yes, Baby Yoda is in the snow. There's people walking, it looks like maybe on some ships. Okay. Let's see what else we've got. Streaming this October. They really haven't shown a whole lot. All right, Mando's on a speeder. Okay, another speeder bike scene. Some explosions. Also in this trailer is, let's see if I can find that one thing. All right, so supposedly there is a Jedi that he's after, and this is who the Jedi is. Now, that doesn't look like Ahsoka Tano to me. So another female Jedi in hiding. Let's break this down for a quick second. The time period here is 5 years after Return of the Jedi, way before The Force Awakens, way before Disney screwed up Star Wars. This is 5 years after Return of the Jedi. The Emperor has fallen. Darth Vader has fallen. They're both dead. All right. Forget Disney trilogy. The Emperor died. All right. Now, Luke Skywalker, victorious. Now, the Empire doesn't immediately crumble if you are into Star Wars stories and books, even though that's non-canon. But you'd have to imagine it would take a little bit of time for all of these huge fleets of people to start disassembling, right? So why is she hiding? Did Luke not find her yet? Who I'm assuming this is a Jedi. Is it Rey's grandmother? I honestly hope there are no more tie-ins to the Disney sequel trilogy. I don't know. She's there, she's not there. We get Baby Yoda. Cara Dune is back, which is a very good thing. Carl Weathers is back. These two bright spots of the series. We get some cool shots of ships moving around. There's not really a whole lot else to see. And this is going to be streaming this October, which I believe is how this ends. Let's see. Yep. New season streaming October the 30th. What do I think about this? I think it was kind of a boring trailer. I think there wasn't much to it. There's some beautiful scenes that definitely evoke Star Wars emotions. But there's no meat there. I don't even think they're finished filming. Well, actually, if it's streaming October 30th, the day that I'm recording this is September 15th. So yeah, they probably are close to finished. But there's just not a lot there. Now, that doesn't mean that I want the trailer to spoil everything and give us all the entire plot to the season. But I am saying that, to me, I've got concerns. I've got concerns that Disney is still in charge of this series, and as much confidence as people have in Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni, who are running this show, possibly even George Lucas. He was filmed on set or photographed on set holding the child. I don't know. I'm not sure what to think about this yet. I'm going to watch it. Don't worry. I'm going to review it here on this channel. So I'm curious your thoughts. I would like for you to watch this trailer on your own, full sound, moving pictures, and see if this is something that you are excited about, or, were you left kind of going, I don't know. We'll see. So that's my take on that. Something that I thought was cute, and then I'll just leave it there. There's a new Funko Pop, the This Is Fine Funko Pop. This is fine. Yeah, burning in flames. Yep, I like it, and I'm going to get this. So moving on. As Art Bell used to say, want to take a ride? Join me. All you have to do, click subscribe, thumb up, leave a comment if you have a comment, and turn on notifications so that every time I push out a video or do a live stream, you'll be right there with me, and we will go on this journey together. Thank you so much for watching. We will see you back here again, hopefully real soon.
This vehicle is leaving the station. Please hold on. Please move to the center of the vehicle and away from the doors.